Have you had any real problems?
Other than trying to figure out how to build inside of a van.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah. All right, so I'm here with Jacob Marlega. He just finished our mentorship program, and if you guys don't know, Curtis Stone and I were doing a chance to win a 1-week mentorship here on my farm, but also you get to win one of his free workshops. I did a video. I'll leave a link up there. All you have to do is buy a t-shirt, so check out that video. So Jacob, you've just finished our mentorship program, and I want to kind of get my viewers an idea of why you came here and what kind of experience you were looking for, and what did you think of the program?
Yeah. So I came here to do Brian's mentorship program because I wanted to know the ins and outs of your business, as well as just get a further understanding as for mushroom cultivation as a whole. And I got here because I saved up enough money and paid for it and took it and really wanted to do it. And I've made a road trip out of it, so it's been amazing.
So what kind of experience did you have before you came here?
Experience in mushroom growing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to work on an agaricus bisporus farm, and for those who don't know, that is like your typical grocery store button mushrooms, your portobellas, and your caminis. I've also had experience growing shiitake mushrooms as well as some oysters.
So by you coming here, were you looking more for like the business side of things, or?
I was looking more so on how to get your feet grounded and either start your own business or just like to get more information on the gourmet mushroom side of things, since I was more familiar with the agaricus side.
Awesome. And how did you find the workload? Was it what you were expecting? Or?
Yeah, it's nothing new. It's typical farm work. I'd say it's a young man's game, but that's up for debate.
Yeah. But you're excited? You're done the program, and
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. I loved it. Thank you so much for letting me come out here and see the place and everything.
cool. So what's next?
What's next for me is I'm going to be taking this beautiful beast down the coast of California, Oregon, and Washington.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into the video. We're going to talk about Jacob's van. I've never seen anything like this. I also have my early bird up. That goes on till the end of 2018, December 31st. So if you guys are looking to take my program like Jacob here has, you get to save $400. So check that out on our website. Just check the show notes for my website, but it's wtfmushrooms.com. So Jacob, why don't we have a look at your van?
All right, so this is Betty Blue. She's big, blue, and beautiful. And in the back here is where I do all of my cooking. I've got a little fold-down table. It's made out of maple plywood, so I can also use it as a cutting board. And it holds a considerable amount of weight. Like I can get up here and sit comfortably, and it's okay. As for like other little storage things in the back in the kitchen, I've got a little drawer right here with my magnetic kitchen knife. And then I keep a whole bunch of my other like cook supplies just in these pull-out drawers underneath my bed. There's another bin there. And then hopping into the van, I've obviously got my bed right here, and it pulls out. The bottom section pulls out, and it comes out to about here. And I'm able to put this backrest of my futon down to make it a little bit bigger bed if you're wanting 2 people in it. In here as well, I've also got my cabinetry. Starting on this end, I have my electrical area where I've got a 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery that powers lights, fridge, charge any laptop or camera gear, and any other batteries. I also have a 1500 watt inverter so that I can run a toaster, a blender, and a rice cooker, as well as charge batteries with AC power if needed. In here too, I also have a little trunk, and this trunk is actually pretty special because the only way to open it is via a neodymium magnet, and you've got to put it in a certain area and lift up, and you actually have a dresser trunk in there, which is pretty sweet, and it sits flush with the countertop so that I'm able to use it as a surface for whatever reasons. Not to mention I got my mushroom literature now with Brian's new book since I took the mentorship.
Awesome.
Over here I've just got some small little dinky shelves and my solar charge controller that tells me how much voltage I'm getting, how much amps I'm charging at, the whole thing. Along here too, I also have a couple drawers. The top one being a junk drawer of sorts, containing everything from silverware to duct tape. And they're just locked in here by little hasps. And the bottom one is just like bathroom supplies type stuff you might need while you're on the road. And I do have some shoes down there, a little paper towel holder, and a little medicine cabinet with a mirror. I even got my longboard hung up here by a little simple latch. Right here I do have my AC/DC fridge. Obviously I'm running it on DC power, powered by the solar panel. But inside it's a little barren right now, but it definitely is really nice. And a special thing I have with the fridge is that I have it on rails so that I can easily move it back and forth to create more room in such a tiny space. It definitely comes in handy. And when actually I have it in this position, I have a little end table right here that flips up, so if I'm sitting on the edge of the bed I can sit with a laptop or whatever. If I need to write anything down, it's just a more comfortable space to do so on. And when the fridge is in this position, it grants me more access to sit here in my, what I would consider the lazy boy of the van. It's just a nice recliner. It's the passenger seat's on a swivel, so I can legally have two passengers in here if need be. Back over on the countertop, I do have a couple drawers. One side holds my fresh water tank, and the other side is basically just dry goods storage. And even right here, I have a little 6-inch spit sink that's just straight plumbed through the base of the van. And over here, I've got a couple mugs with a hanging fruit basket and a nice little wooden bowl. And I have blackout curtains around on every windows with a partition right here. As for that, I mean, other than that, it's just storage underneath the van, or underneath the bed. And up top and back here, I've got a nice little ladder so that I can get up to the top. And up top, we have a solar panel that is actually on hinges. I've got a padlock on it right now, and I don't want to waste your time on doing it, but it does and is able to go up to 30 degrees, which is ideal for a solar panel. I also have a large 7-foot long Yakima box, which holds everything. It's practically my garage. That's pretty easy to open, so I might as well. But also up here, I have my fantastic fan. It has a rain fly on it, so when it's raining like now, I don't get rainwater inside the van, which is amazing. And I even have a deck portion up here on the front too, if I just want to do a little stargazing or need to tie anything extra down to the front. Yeah, as you can see, I've got a whole smorgasbord of stuff up here. Ranging from tools to backpacking gear to knee pads and rubber boots. Even have a pressure cooker for those mushroom growers. And then the sweetest thing of the whole part is a solar shower. It holds 7.5 gallons of water, and I'm able to pressurize it by a small air compressor, and it just comes out a nice little coiled hose that I have. So for many of those who don't know, the van life following and just like camper vans and mobile vehicles for home dwellings is quite a big scene. It's on all of social media. You can find a ton about it on Instagram as well as YouTube, and most other van dwellers who have a social profile, they blog and they vlog all the time, and most of them have their own online stores and websites. But for me, the main reason I wanted to get into it was because I wanted to travel to the United States, some of Canada, and maybe hopefully someday head down into South America. But I really just wanted to get out of my small town in Wisconsin and see the country. as well as maybe get some opportunity to work on really cool mushroom farms, come take Brian's course, and just meet other mushroom growers in the industry to make network connections, as well as get future farm ideas for if I ever want to start my own farm, or if I'm going to be working on someone else's farm. It would just be nice to have a well-rounded idea of what needs to be done and kind of out of the box ideas that other growers might be using. When I first got the van, it cost me about $2,600. I bought it off of Craigslist, and it was pretty much the first van that I ever saw. You can get a whole bunch of different types of vans. Most commonly found is going to be a Mercedes Sprinter, but those were a bit out of my price range, and that's why I decided to go with the 1996 Ford Econoline. When I got it, it was decked out with carpet and just unnecessary trim and lights, and I had to take all of that out to build everything. Um, and for like cost wise, with the building of all the materials, most of all of my wood products were refurbished or repurposed wood. The only thing not coming in that genre is going to be the ceiling. It was a 12-foot board, and I had to buy that outright from like a Home Depot. Other than that, I just basically grabbed pallet wood from a farm that I worked at, or found it in a discounted wood bin at certain shops. The main pricey things are going to be like your electrical components. So the fridge was quite a bit of money. The solar panel and the battery were a considerable amount of money. But all in all, I put about $8,000 into my van. The most expensive parts of that being the electrical components, and the more least expensive things would just be the wood products. Dealing with wood takes a lot of time though, and it took me about a year to completely finish the van. I was working a full-time job at the time, and just basically did it in my garage in my spare time. I've known certain people who could do it in about 3 months or a month, but I assume they're not working or having other things to do. And this was my first time ever doing anything like this, from woodworking to electrical work and even car mechanical work. But I had to do all of it myself to cut down on costs, and it definitely taught me a thing or two while doing the entire build process. Oh, I plan on living in this thing for at least the next year. Got to make it worth my money that I put into it. The whole point of it for me was to cut down on rent costs and end up living in this. And my main expense now is gas, just getting from place to place. And for those interested in doing this, there's like, I have found all of my help, from everything from wiring issues to learning how to set up the solar panel to just like getting ideas on how the van is set up, and some woodworking tips I found all on YouTube. But that doesn't go to say that I didn't have help from family members, like either donating to me or letting me borrow some of their tools, like a table saw, a circular saw, a miter saw, anything that I may have needed to get the job done, as well as friends helping me with mechanical work. Would go to a buddy's house who had a garage, and they'd let me use their jack and some of their tools so that I'd be able to do the brakes or the ball joints, or even fix the U joints or anything. It was just it was amazing to be able to have a network of people in my life to be able to make something like this happen. And for those who don't have that, it's still possible. It might just be a little bit more difficult for you, but I say if you're wanting to do it, because there's nothing holding you back. The only thing holding you back is yourself.